not seen Dakota in 2 months. So, it's been a minute. He's upset.
I'll tell you what.
Okay, so like I said at the beginning of the video, I've not seen Dakota for 2 months, and it was time to pick him up. And I forgot how terrible our bumper pull door is, so I had to get help to get it open. But he has been in Texas for the past 2 months. Chester got really sick in July. I got really sick really fast after that, and I ended up in the hospital. Chester was in the hospital, and it just cut our pro rodeo season very short. Dakota also needed off. He had been off for a while. We had just still been hauling him, but he had not been running. He needed to gain weight and a few other things and just get a little more comfortable. So we sent him down to Texas where he was able to just be turned out. We pulled his shoes off, turned him out. He gained a lot of weight, and he eventually got shoes put back on, and he was ridden a little bit down there. But after 2 months, it was time for us to go pick him up. So he was driven halfway to us. So this is like, well, a little over halfway to us. So we drove down here to pick him up. But before we hauled him, he had already been hauling 6 hours this day. So we let him stay outside for about an hour before we finished the haul. That way he could stretch, get his head down, get a good drink, and all of those things. So he'd be ready for the haul, and then he gets a nice break in between, especially for his legs. So that is what he is doing here. He is going around this pretty big pasture, trotting around, seeing everything. There's several other horses for him to talk to. I got him a big trough full of water there so he could get a really good drink. Eventually he does, and he can graze a little bit. So there he was having some fun. So we were really thankful that we were able to send him to Texas, especially since I became so sick, so he could be ridden and taken care of down there. It was really nice, and he really enjoyed his time down there. So I'm not going to run him for a little bit. We have a pro rodeo in a few weeks, but I am not rushing him into anything. We're not going to rush and jump right into the season. I've actually missed a lot of rodeo so far in the 25 season. Chester is hurt right now. It's nothing too terrible. His suspensory is just a little inflamed, and we don't want to tear it or risk any of that. So he has been on stall rest for about a month. He's gotten light turnout, so Chester's been off too, so it's been a very interesting time. But Chester is doing very well, so don't worry about him. I'm hoping he'll be cleared very soon and he can go back to riding, but Chester's not able to run right now, and Dakota is just getting back after a break, so we're not going to dive too hard into the season yet. I'm hoping maybe early 2025, kind of spring, is when we're able to kick back up full speed, but for now we are just kind of taking things easy. So after he ran around for about an hour grazing and seeing the sights, we hauled the 4.5 hours home. Here we are getting home that night. This is not my house. I do board my horses. Just want to say that those horses over there are not mine before you ask. So here he is seeing Chester for the first time in over 2 months, and they are best buds, so they were very happy to see each other. Dakota's never been here before, but he settled in pretty quick, especially because Chester was here and he had a few other horses. So I am going to get his alfalfa. We are keeping alfalfa in front of him 24/7, and it is getting chilly, so we are also going to get his blanket on. You just gonna scratch?
great.
I'm gonna give them each 2 scoops of cubit alfalfa cubes. Which Chester lives. A lot. I didn't mean to try. There you go. Chester makes them like crunch really low.
He does. He sounds like the man. I had no idea that.
It is interesting that they prefer the cubes.
I know.
Because it's like the same thing. We're gonna let him eat those and hang out outside for a minute, and then we have to braid his hair and then take him for a little ride, and it'll be the first time I've ridden him in over 2 months. So it's been a minute. He seems ready. I got him a new fluffy halter. So yeah, I'm gonna go catch him.
Your hair's looking good, Dakota. Yeah, gotta get it done. Gotta get you. Oh, there's a fly on his nose. Get it off. Fly on the nose.
That's really slow. That's all. So good. I'll fix that up here.
What are you eating? Tree bark? What are you doing?
I'm gonna get his mane braided because it is down before we ride, so I don't accidentally grab it while I'm riding around. And to keep him a little cooler. I'll brush from the bottom. One girl made a TikTok that made me feel better about how much hair falls out every time I wash it. Because it's like, yeah, that's kind of normal. He's not as bad as I thought he might be.
Yeah.
After, you know, seeing Chester for the first time in 2 months. And then me taking him away from Chester.
Yeah, I think the flies are on his nerves a little.
Yeah, they're on everybody.
Yeah, they are. They're done. He's getting his hair done.
Just a simple look, nothing crazy. You're so tall.
He's a top boy. I'm just snorting that. I'm just snorting that, sir. Okay.
Take my head off.
Is there a cow down there or something?
Maybe. They're really scary.
What'd you see? What'd you see? What is that?
It really is just really helpful. Chester doesn't like the water.
Oh, is that what he's seeing, you think?
Yeah, it might be, because that's Chester hates it.
You snorting, ain't it? What are we upset about? Mr. Head Shaker.
It always has been. It's how you took my whole nebulizer apart somehow.
You're getting it? You gonna make yourself. Look, you're getting it up in your face. There ain't no need in that. That could slip right off of him.
It's a little big.
Shit, yeah, it is.
That dang English horses. It'll be perfect for Chester.
Yeah, it's just a big old head. Look, you're gonna hurt your eye. Quit that. Quit it. Quit it.
Maybe I need to get you a cob.
She almost done. Sweet pea.
Crazy.
Sweet pea. Something wrong. What's wrong? He's about to pull that right off his head. That's what he's trying to do. You see? We don't need you loose. Okay, we gotta get him to come up. Come on. Alright, he's literally trying to
Yeah,
get
just
that
let
off.
me finish the braid.
Okay.
Kind of busy.
Hold on. Hold on.
No, down in the mid.
Maybe like put it between his legs.
Yeah. I got it. There you go. Good job. Nu hot. my brush before I saddle. And I have the wrong back cinch on my saddle, but just don't worry about that. It's not that important. It's just black instead of brown. I'm shocked it grew so much hair in Texas.
I know, it got really kind of chilly though, and I think the light also has a lot to do with it when it starts getting to be shorter days.
And he grew a ton of hair, like way more than any horse I've ever.
Yeah.
That's just your thing, you like to grow hair.
He does. Not really that bad. Just
No, I think I'll just leave them. Not much in there.
No, they're good. Just a little serotonin syndrome protection here.
Yeah, when your brain doesn't work anymore, it kind of messes up.
Definitely need to wear that helmet till we get our balance back in check.
We're not gonna do a whole lot today, just like a light exercise. He has been ridden, so he wasn't completely off. But we're just gonna do a light exercise today. Walk, trot probably a little bit, and lope. And just see how we're feeling. Did they get on to you about walking off? I've actually never been on a horse before. Yesterday, so I'm gonna walk him, get him stretched out pretty good before we do anything. you after him about being collected or anything.
No, I wouldn't.
We're just here for fun.
I would just have an enjoyable, easy ride today for both of you.
So that's going to be my last little kind of loping lap. I did a very easy ride on him. Nothing too crazy. Didn't want to overwork him or anything. Just really want to get him stretched out and get him a nice little workout. He did really, really good. I really pet on him and I did walk him out after this. So there I am petting all over him, telling him he did really, really good. I didn't fight with him over having a collected head or anything. I just loped around one-handed. Nothing too crazy today. So once I walked him out, I hopped off and loosened my saddle, still petting on him. So I hopped off, loosened my back cinch and my front cinch, and then I did decide to stretch out his front legs. So after he worked out, his muscles were nice and warm and he could get a really good stretch here on the front. So the first stretch I do, I kind of keep his leg bent and I just pick it up like this, and after we hold that for a while, I'm going to pull him into like a straight leg position, and he about kills me. Sometimes they fight it a little bit before they get into it, and he about completely pulled me down. So there is what it's actually supposed to look like, and I'm gonna hold it out like that for a little while. Make sure I hold it long enough for the stretch to really work. And there I'm giving him his leg back, and we're gonna do the exact same thing on the other side. You saw me stretch his neck earlier before I got on. I don't worry about doing those stretches when he's not super warm, but it always freaks me out a little bit to stretch their legs when their muscles are cold. Some people do, but I do not. So before a run, I would do this as well after I warm up, but before I run. But today I'm just kind of doing it as part of the cool down, really stretching his muscles out, and I'm sure it feels really good. This is going to help with his range of motion. It helps prevent injury. So there are a lot of good benefits to stretching. So I did hold this one a little bit longer. Sometimes I really struggle with my internal clock to know how long something has been happening. I'm like that when I stretch myself. I think 30 seconds is 5 hours, so I end up not doing it quite as long as I need to. There I'm hugging on him, and then we are going to get him back to the wash rack. Actually, I tied him up in a stall. We're going to get him back to his stall so I can get his saddle off and his bell boots off, and there he has his little bag of alfalfa.
There's Sadie's new truck.
I did buy me a new little truck. There's its little reveal. Now I'm going to get him in the wash rack, and we are going to cold hose him. So I really love cold hosing because it really helps prevent soreness, prevent inflammation. I do it on their off days, and I especially do it after I ride. So there I'm setting a timer on my phone. I'm going to cold hose from kind of right above the hocks down for about 6 minutes on his back legs. This is going to be like a nice water massage, really gets those hocks cold and his ankles cold. It's just really nice. And then we are going to do the exact same thing on the front legs. So I'm going to go from just a little bit above his knee down, making sure I get his joints really good and his, ligaments, tendons, all of that. Make sure everything is cold hosed really well, help prevent any injuries and inflammation there as well. And then once I am done cold hosing, I'm going to spray off where he got sweaty. It was not super hot, but like I said earlier, he has grown a lot of hair, so that helps get him a little sweatier when we ride, and I'm just going to get that off. I don't want to put him out in the pasture with that sweat on him. I think that's kind of gross, and I'm sure it itches a little bit, so just going to make sure I get that off for him. And once I'm done with that, we are going to get him some liniment. I'm going to spray him with some liniment. I have it 50-50 alcohol and liniment. So I'm going to spray it on his legs and maybe a little bit on his back before we put him back out. Get the inside. I mean, I think you can put it on.
Yeah, that's what I'd do.
Now I'm going to put on some hoof moisturizer. I got his little fly boots on, and we are going to get him back down to his pasture. So right now he just comes in at night because it does get so cold right now. So he is out all day grazing, eating alfalfa. He has his alfalfa cubes out here. So he is really living it up out here right now. And I'm going to get him back down here so he can see Chester. Chester's right next to him, so they also get to hang out all day. And Chester is not out as much because, like I said, he does have that injury. But when he can be supervised to make sure he's not running around like a fool, he is out with Dakota. I'm super excited to have Dakota back, and I'm super excited that I feel better so I can get some more vlogs out for you guys. When I turned him out, I really thought he was going to roll, especially because I did spray him off. Normally, every time I spray him off, it goes right out there and rolls, but he tricked me a few times, so he did not end up rolling.